A cold May Saturday night at the foot of the Blue Mountains. Rain about this afternoon with the possibility of more. Let's take a look at how the two sides will take the field. The home side has three changes, largely due to the City Country match. Luke Lewis is out. Brett Howland is his replacement. Preston Campbell is out. Ben Rogers moves into pivot in 19. And Luke Swain replaces Joe Nullavow in the second row. David McLean is the new face on the bench and their coach is John Lane. The visiting Canberra side has one positional and one personnel change. Chris Kaler will start from the bench. Ian Hindmarsh in 16 will start the game. Josh Miller is off the bench and his place is taken by Michael Robertson. Their coach is Matthew Elliott. Our referee for this contest is Jason Robinson in just his 28th first grade game. And we are underway at the Penrith Stadium. The Raiders running right to left for the opening 40 minutes. And here comes Matt Adamson. Many questions asked pre-season about Adamson and Jason Smith, the veterans. Adamson is yet to miss a game. The number 8 is Ben Cross. An opportunity for the young man with so many injuries in this Canberra outfit. Smith, the inside ball and a good shot put on. Frankie Pritchard stands up as the man that marked him. An inside ball goes again to the number 10, Troy Thompson. Over the 40-metre line, Woolford finds Ian Hindmarsh. A little bit of variation shown in selection. Hindmarsh coming in for Chris Kaler, perhaps looking just for a little bit more work and tidy up around the ruck. Over the top goes Jason Smith. Opportunity for the Raiders. Howland has been wrong-footed. And so near. Yet so far.
Have a look at it, mate. Have a look at it. Penalty try. Penalty try, mate.
No, he was there.
Have a look at it.
Go.
No penalty try, but 10 minutes in the sin bin after just 60 seconds of action. Jason Croker blowing up as Brett Howland makes his way back to the tunnel. What a start.
Yeah, Brett Howland just getting a bad bounce there. Jason Smith seeing that the players, the fullback Reece West was very, very deep. Put the little kick through, then it was chased through, then he got that terrible bounce. Jason Croker, I thought, would have scored for all money, and he's entitled to go to the referee, Robinson, and say, penalty try.
Automatically, you see the importance of Jason Smith there as Canberra take the attack and don't take the kick.
Showing a little bit of confidence in their ability. Thompson tackled 8 metres out centre field. Woolford back on the inside. Lincoln Withers changes the angle of attack. Good shot put on by Benny Ross.
You're holding him, Lincoln.
No gain there. Woolford operating the far side through Ian Hindmarsh. Reece Wesser was up quickly. And again, Ben Ross defensively very strong. Smith, a little bit of confusion at the ruck, and that is poor football from the Canberra Raiders. A great opportunity after just 2 minutes. It's wasted.
It certainly was, as Paul Frunze tries to get out of trouble. Ben Pomeroy getting tackled there by the Canberra side, but once again, Jason Smith, with that experience, he probably should have got the ball and taken it to the line. But the issue there, Panthers coming off the line very, very quickly, put pressure on the man that was receiving the ball.
The 17 is Luke Swain. Darting out from dummy half. Gainers Luke Prittis, a 3-man Canberra tackle. They have muscled up this set. Not many metres and no easy ones for the Raiders. Good shot. They're put on the big number 11, Matt Adamson. That was Ben Ross perhaps collecting a little receipt there. Gower takes it downtown, kicking inside his 30. And well taken by David Howell on the far side. Good set and good defence from the Panthers. Tonight, Foxtel and Ozstar digital viewers can enjoy this game, Fox Sports Active. Just press the red button on your remote control to enjoy a range of camera angles, audio options, highlights and live stats. Ball comes free, not played at. Trent Waterhouse picks it up and promotes the ball 6 metres himself.
Yeah, Troy Thompson, the man, giving the bad pass back inside. And once again, Canberra, when they have the ball in their hands, as Pritchard nearly gets through, always promoting the ball down the middle of the ruck. They feel that the markers are probably a little bit lazy for Panthers as Craig Gower goes to the line now.
Wesser with the football, always dangerous. A crossfield looks for an opening. He was well taken there by Simon Woolford and Lincoln Withers. 11 metres out, they continue the short side. Gower dummies. The dummy wasn't taken by the defensive line. Tackle number 4, just 5 metres out. And penalty Penrith.
Not you. Hand out left.
The Raiders throughout that set of 6 really testing that man, Jason Robinson, and his interpretation of the 10 as the Panthers elect to go for goal. Robinson, Scott, holding a big 10 metres. The Raiders almost showing disregard for that.
A big 10 metres that will play straight into the Panthers' hands.
Yep.
They've got big forwards, they've got fast outside backs. If Canberra are going to continue to turn over ball in this part of the field against a team like the Panthers, they'll be hurt pretty badly, because the big men on the fringes like your Waterhouses and your Pritchards, they'll absolutely thrive on the possession down this end of the field.
In he steps. Oh! And Penrith may have some issues tonight with goal kicking. Oh, that's a shocker from Reese to open his career with. Oh, such a brilliant player. He can't do everything.
No, he certainly can't. But that may be a major issue there for the Panthers here tonight, as Matt Adamson reached one down and around about the 30-metre mark as Joel Clinton looks to bring it back for the Panthers. It's a close game. You'd probably have to back the sharpshooters of the Canberra side to get them home here tonight.
4 defenders bringing Joel Clinton down, who is one of just 2 players backing up from the City Country fixture. Last night, Penrith moving into dummy half and trying to dominate the ruck of the Raiders. In fact, they are really trying to hold the Panthers down, slow the tempo of the game as Wesser steps, tries to get away from Lincoln Withers, who was able to hold on to his man long enough for Jason Croker to come in and assist with the tackle. This is Rogers, a good second man ball. Flirting very close to the sideline as Ben Pomeroy. Tackle number 4, 30 metres out. First receiver is Prittis, second receiver is Gower. Long ball to the number 12, Frank Pritchard. Well read defensively, Matt Adamson. It seems permanently camped on that right-hand side. Last tackle, they go to Gower, and he goes to the air. A test here for Matty Gaffer on the far side. The ball has come loose, an opportunity and a try.
It's the last tackle, mate. Can you see if it was a knock-on or a knock-back, please?
The Panthers are claiming it. Their fans are praying for it. But Jason Robinson has elected to go to our video referee tonight. It is Steve Nash.
We're just trying to check 2 little things, especially the knock-on and the onside. I didn't have a problem with the player. Maybe Ben Rogers was maybe just a fraction offside. And does Howland touch it? If he does, the ball has gone backwards. And the number 19, Ben Rogers, dives on it over the try line. I don't have a problem with that.
You'll tell by the cheers or groans of the crowd. Oh, they love it. Good try to Benny Rogers in just his 6th career game. He has opened the scoring.
I think Matt Gaffer can get used to a lot of high balls tonight. One, he's not a regular winger. And they've done a good job there, Penrith, because they're one less man on this right-hand side of the field with Brett Howland being off in the sin bin.
And Reese Wesser from near the sideline. That is the angle Reese has got in front of him. A better strike, still no points for it. And the scoreline remains Penrith 4. They are down to just 12 men. The Raiders 0.
I think with Reese Wesser, when he's kicking goals, what he needs to do, he must, there's time remaining there for Brett Howland. I've got to say that Reese, the way he plays is nice and relaxed. The way he's kicking, he feels like he's under pressure. Just go out there and enjoy it, son.
The 2 sides that fought out the 1990 and 1991 grand finals, they were 1 apiece. It was Penrith's first ever title in 91 as the class of 2005 uses the ball laterally. Before is Fronze on that left-hand side. Held up in the tackle by David Howe. Clinton charging into the defensive line.
You just see there the Canberra side. That's why they're trying to use the ball wide there, Panthers. You see the winger is around about 20 metres in from the sideline. They promoted 2 passes wide. There's opportunities on the edge of the ruck.
Up over the 40-metre line, Ben Ross. Into the tackle is Ben Cross. 2 big front rowers. 5-man wrestle centre field. Adamson and Ross having words. That continues as Gower puts it deep and straight into the hands of Marshall Chalk, the stand-in fullback for the Canberra Raiders. Clinton Schifosky out until we estimate round 12 with rib injury. And Sats, they'll feel the loss of the number 1.
Yeah, they will. Clint Schifosky, very consistent performer, but it's his bringbacks, his kick returns that puts his team on the front foot a lot of the times. And I know Marshall Chalk did a very good job last week against Newcastle, but we're talking about goal kicking also. Clint Schifosky is going to be missed in that department on the Raiders side.
Now, that is different about the fifth set that Canberra have used, and they keep turning the ball back inside, and the Panthers are wide awake to it and smashing their men that are trying to come down the middle of the ruck.
Good kick from Jason Smith in between Luke Rooney, who fielded the ball, and fullback Reece Wesser. Both men had to make ground to get to the footy.
It's a second push down.
Penalty to Penrith.
And touching on that too, Wiz, I've found with the Raiders over the years when I used to play against them that they can become a little bit structured, and they can become, as you see the penalty there from Jason Smith, they can become bogged down in their structure. And they've got to have a backup plan to go against that if it's not working by half-time.
I think sometimes when you look at the game the week before that the Panthers have played, there may be an occasion where they've been loose around that ruck area, but tonight that looks pretty rock solid. I think they need to go 2 passes wide, Canberra.
Here's Clinton. Oh, the crowd stand up and cheer on the far side grandstand, loving what they're seeing. Oh, big shot. Put on Benny Ross. It was Benny Cross. Gower. The 17 is Swain. Prittis again moving into dummy half. Gower circling around the ruck. Takes control of the football to find Frank Pritchard. Pritchard moves inside the 10-metre line. A good tackle there. Again, Matt Adamson controlling the Kiwi international. Gower to Rogers. Double puck in the hands of Waterhouse. He continues to the line, the big lock forward. Then drops the football. In fact, it was right. Penalty Penrith.
No, that was a blatant strip. That was a strip. I agree. Yes. Yes, he does. But when your play's in there.
Where was the intentional strip there? They're hanging off him, Jace. He's got to hold it, mate.
You're over there. The ball came out this side.
Remember the new rule?
Well, I know the rule, Simon. The penalty was for a strip.
Oh, Ross, straight into them. No self-preservation, not even a thought of it. Gower is deep, so too Clinton. Looks for the simple run around. It didn't work that time, and Ian Hindmarch was the tackler. They will continue on the left-hand side of the park through their captain Gower. An inside ball back to Wesser. They've tried that already tonight. Croker missed with his first attempt, was assisted by Thompson to bring the fullback down. Bit of niggle in this contest already. Rogers all but giving himself up with a Shepherd with his lock forward. Just a lack of communication there. Prittis. Waterhouse, just too good. Once again, the Penrith fans stand and cheer. They have every reason to. It is the home side 8, the visitors 0.
And we heard Simon Wolford complaining to the referee that he thought that Waterhouse, the man who scored the try, should have been holding on to the ball. He tries to rip it free. I don't think it was stolen. Fair enough for Wolford to go up there. Waterhouse explodes into this game, picks up the littlest man in the side, and Lincoln Withers. Withers known as a great defender there. He was standing on his line. There's no way then Scotty was going to stop the big man coming over.
No, big man on little man, but don't rely on the Panthers to have any specific game plan. That's the scary thing about this side. All they do is they put so much pressure on the team and wait for them to crack, and that's what's happened then. They'll go to Pritchard on the left, as you see Simon Wolford again blowing up with the referee Jason Robinson. They'll go to Pritchard on one fringe of the ruck. They'll come back to Waterhouse on the other side. It's just a matter of you've got to aim up and defend as well as you can, because these big men will overpower you.
Thrown into goal-kicking duties. It's better, but still not good enough. Almost the hint of a smile from Reece Wesser. And the fans are enjoying this in the grandstand.
Well, I think the big thing about Reece Wesser then in that third kick, he looked more relaxed. He thought that was going to be a little bit easier, but like you said, they are scoring them out on this right-hand touchline. But they're getting closer. Scott Sattler, why are you laughing?
The worst part about it is that this side of the field's the best side for the left footer.
Yeah, exactly. It's only going to get worse.
I don't think so. I think he's going to land a couple shortly.
Here's Swain. Oh, belted. A good shot by the two front rowers in the headgear, Troy Thompson and Ben Cross. This is Pritchard over the 10-metre line. 3 Raiders there in a gang tackle. A big 10 metres continues to be kept by our referee, Jason Robinson. Tackle number 3 just over the 20. Ben Ross playing the football. Running the decoy was Wesser, and this is the try scorer. Tackled on the 30 is Tread Waterhouse. Priddis to Clinton, looking for a little bit of go forward. Runs straight into Jason Smith, and it is a penalty. Too high.
And Joel Clinton picking out Jason Smith then, knowing that the 5'8" was all out there by himself. You can see him angling his range straight to him. Oh, look, honestly, I don't think that was a penalty. Hard done by there, the Canberra Raiders. They've done well in defending up. I'm telling you, that was not a penalty.
That is a monster kick from Craig Gower. They have made the Raiders pay. Again, Ben Ross running with plenty of momentum. Pritchard looked to pass the ball, stepped off the right and met the defensive line. Hindmarsh and Thompson there. This is Clinton again. Running into the captain, Simon Woolford. 2 tries to nil, 8-0. Penrith again on the attack. Gower. Gower. Is it a try? Held up, says Jason Robinson. Paul Fronze was all but celebrating with.
Just go out to the 10-metre line for me. Wait till I blow the whistle, Paul. Tackle 4.
Robinson in good position to make that decision. He didn't want to go to the video referee, but Fronze thought he'd scored the try. Now, Ross goes for the Panthers. Very, very short on this left-hand side. That is the Canberra Raiders in defence.
Tackle number 5. The Panthers are back to 10 and back to 13, should I say. It comes out to Howland, who bats it back. It's a case of hot potatoes. Still the last tackle. Rogers puts it over the top. Howland is there to score. Was he onside? Yes, he was. That is try number 3 for Penrith. It is all the home side.
Well, they could do no wrong ever since that man on screen, Brett Howland, went into the bin for the tackle on Croker. They put the high kick up again, once again Gower, but it was the good hand. And just knowing that they were short back down this right-hand side, Howland got him back on side, chased forward, put the ball down over the line.
Great vision from the young guy, Benny Rogers, and great skill also from another young guy in Benny Pomeroy. Normally a back row, Benny, but he's in the centres. For Benny Rogers there to have vision like he has for such a, he hasn't played only a handful of first-grade games. And like I said before the game, Coach John Lang puts his faith in these young players to come into first grade and do a job for him.
And here we go, about a foot in from the sideline, 21 metres back. Oh, he sprayed it out to the left. I wouldn't want to be that kicking tee. And what a start to the game it has been for Frank Pritchard.
He's been very, very good leading. This is his runs during the first half, especially on that left-hand side, attacking Jason Smith, going to the line, always trying to promote the ball as much as possible. He's been a handful so far, but the amount of ball that they have had, they've had over 73% of the possession. The Canberra side doing all the defending so far.
Just how much will fatigue set in on Joel Clinton and Craig Gower, the 2 Penrith players backing up from last night's opening domestic representative contest. No Raiders involved in the City Country. Joel Clinton might get limited time as a result tonight as we have a look at time with the football, and quite simply, Sats, with 74% of possession, any side is going to be almost unbeatable.
Yeah, we saw that last night in the first half with the representative game. City had a lot of field possession, a lot of ball possession. It's happening here tonight, but it will turn, and it always does in rugby league.
And Matt Adamson not there.
Canberra have lost 5 of their last 6 here at Penrith Stadium. An indication they dropped the ball. It was raked again into Simon Woolford.
Well, with all the mistakes, all the possession going the way of the Panthers, and just saying there, Croker having his hand in on the ball. Joel Clinton gets the penalty going his way. They've done a mountain of work, Canberra. Something like 96 tackles to Penrith 27.
Panthers again on the attack. Here's Wesser. Beats the line. Reece Wesser with the fullback in front of him. Croker has a go. No one can stop him. And Reece puts it down next to the posts. 4 tries in 19 minutes. The Panthers are killing him.
They are, and it all goes back to that penalty that was given against Canberra on the 5th tackle. Once again, that's happened to them 2 or 3 times so far. They go 2 passes wide. Reece Wesser, once again, they target Lincoln with it. Reece Wesser says, get out of my way. Big left-hand fender. What about the step on Marshall Chalk? Croker can't make that tackle. And Reece Wesser, will he kick this one, Sats?
It's a pet play. The Panthers up the tap. They'll either send the big man in or they'll spread it wide to a sweeping Reece Wesser, hopefully to make the numbers. But I think the only reason Reece puts his finger up here is because he said to himself, I've given myself the best position possible.
Well, the problem is, mate, he's had 4 shots at goal and missed, and they've taken the kicks off him straight away.
Oh.
Waterhouse. He won't get an easier one than this. I hope he doesn't hit the upright.
Well, he's the biggest goal kicker in the history of the game, I know that.
Reece Wesser almost right in front of the post. Goal-kicking duties have been stolen. 2 points for the Panthers. Their first conversion tonight. Trent Waterhouse looks around and said, Brucey, what's your problem? This is easy, this caper.
John Lang, if you're happy with the start so far, 18-0. If you're disappointed about the kicks they've missed, and they're the Raiders, 13 to Highmarsh, Adamson 12, Thompson 11. They're doing plenty of work along with Croker, 11 already. They've just had no ball in this half.
We restart again. The picture is an identical one with Luke Swain taking it back into the defensive line. What about Reece Wesser? In total, 78 tries in 107 games, but 17 tries in his last 16 appearances. An incredible strike rate. Oh, Pritchard perhaps taken a little high by big Tyron Smith. Luke Prittis. Not many metres that time out of acting half. Matt Adamson puts paid to that run on the 40-metre line. Gower moves into acting half, puts it downfield, directly into the hands of Matty Gaffer, who finds his fullback on the inside, Marshall Chalk. They are out on their feet at the moment, the Raiders. They've had 22, just 22% of the football, and the big men are still struggling to get back to form any type of attacking game plan. Adamson and Smith, the veterans, combining. Again, not a lot of variation.
Well, the big thing is what you've just said is that they are looking a little bit tired. They are now trying to promote the ball a fraction wider. Panthers are really starting to get off their line quickly. They haven't had a lot of defence to do, so that certainly does help them.
That will also help them finding touch and giving their big men the opportunity at a couple of deep breaths. Matt Adamson is coming from the field for the Canberra Raiders. Chris Kaler is the second interchange used by Matthew Elliott so far tonight. Both coaches using the interchange wisely, just 2 as we approach 22 minutes of this contest. Tyron Smith already onto the field. He came on and replaced Ben Cross. The number 3 is Pomeroy for the Panthers.
10 and hold. Pick the ball up.
They have scored 4 tries to nil, and the optimistic Raiders fans can thank their lucky stars that Preston Campbell wasn't kicking for goal tonight. What about that for a completion rate, Sats?
One of the biggest goals for the Panthers is to always complete as many sets as they possibly can. 12 sets this early on in the game, they've completed 100%. That in itself is enough to pressure to put on the defensive side.
Stand with the ball.
And the fact that the Raiders have had just so little of the football. Surprising to see Joel Clinton still going. He hasn't had to do a lot of defensive work. That is the bonus. A lot of attacking work, backing up just 24 hours after that rep match.
I've got to say this though, Canberra, there's only 18 points to difference. So it's only 3 tries to get themselves back in the game. They certainly can do that. If they get some more ball and some quality space down the bottom here, they can score 3 tries, don't worry.
As you can see there, the Raiders on that kick return, you can see them all bunched behind the Panthers defense, behind their defensive line, I should say. Just a sure sign how tired they are.
Number 10 is again Troy Thompson. Edging up towards halfway, but not over it. Rarely have they been in Penrith territory. The number 4 is Adam Mogg, one of several Raiders players to have played in each game this year. Smith kicks just his side of halfway. An awkward kick. A good bounce for Reece Wesser, who had the number 3 Phil Graham bearing down upon him. Got away from Graham the first time, which allowed a couple more defenders to come down and target the fullback. This is Luke Rooney.
And that's
Ben
the
Ross coming off the field and moving on, Garrett Crossman in jersey number 14.
Well, that's a big play for the Panthers too. Their wingers work so hard out of dummy half and they make plenty of yards. Allow this man then to start taking the ball to the line to a tired defence. He's going to find holes on the outside shortly.
Yeah, good defence still from the Raiders. 3 of them in there. A dominant tackle called by Jason Robinson. Short side with Clinton, who busts through Simon Wolford's attempted tackle. It took the veteran Croker to finish him off. Gower, played at, charged down. They are claiming Ben Rogers was taken out of play. Not the case, says Robinson, and the Raiders mount their attack. That is the 0 tackle.
Well,
just edging up towards halfway.
I thought Torrance would tackle him without the ball. He was trying to get through Ben Rogers.
Here's Chris Kaler, originally slated to start tonight's contest. Made way for Ian Hindmarsh in the 13. Both of them on the field at the moment. Smith goes wide with Mogg. Well read defensively, a good one-on-one tackle there. Paul Franze, Wolford. Withers at second receiver. He is driven to the ground on the final tackle. So again, they will go to the number 6 in Jason Smith. He goes to the air. Crossfield it comes, not with the depth he would have liked. Batted back. Jason Croker is going to go down with the football. He does. And the Panthers' scrambling defence and urgency
On the ground, Jason.
ends that Raiders attacking set.
Very good defensive set from the Panthers there. Like we touched on before, the Raiders really haven't got any attacking options because none of their players have got enough energy to move forward off their ball players. So the Panthers really aren't being challenged at all.
Couple of interchanges made by John Lang, Frank Bulatua and David McLean come into action. Joel Clinton is off, so is Luke Swain. And Frank Pritchard also makes his way towards the sideline. Going on is Shane Rodney. In fact, for a period of about 30 seconds there, the Panthers only had 12 men on the field. A little bit of confusion down on the interchange bench. It is tackle number 5, again a modest one of 34 metres. And they go to Rogers in 19 for the old-fashioned midfield bomb. Well taken, but they were inside the 10. It is penalty to Canberra.
Before you got there.
Ben Rogers saying, how could I have been inside the 10? I was the guy that kicked the football.
Oh, Jason Robinson, the referee tonight, has done a pretty good game so far. He's put the kick up there, Ben Rogers, but what he's saying is that the players were in an offside position and inside the 10 before Ben Rogers put them onside. So that's a fair decision by the referee and Robinson.
Canberra slowing the game down to their pace. Alan Tunga's on. Jason Croker is off for the Raiders, so some new legs. We're just on 13 minutes remaining in the opening half. It is 18-0. Maybe not one, but 2 forward passes, perhaps in that movement. It is allowed to play on by Jason Robinson. They have been starved of possession as they go to Withers, who is well wrapped up by David McLean. Wolford. Open side they go to Thompson.
That's 4. Stand.
Tackle number 4. Wolford. Quick service to Jason Smith. Pressure on Wesser, who is forced to play at the football. Kicks it over the dead-end goal line, and the Canberra Raiders will get that repeat set.
And that's what they're looking for now, Canberra, just making sure that they kept the ball down this very, very good area. Wolford, a good charge in the dummy out to get the ball to Smith, put the beautiful little kick in. The fullback, Wesser, for the Panthers, he had to have a play at it. He knew that the Raiders on that right-hand side would come in and to try and put some pressure right on them.
Craig Gower there with the football, was on a chartered flight from Lismore last night along with Joel Clinton. Got home to their own beds and their own pillows in preparation for this round 9 match as Tyron Smith is tackled on the 30-metre line, suggested he was surrendered in the tackle, allowing the defensive unit just a little bit more time to lie over the attacking player. Wolford has options left and right. He goes through Alan Tongue to Jason Smith. A cut-around ball to Marshall Shaw. Good grassing tackle by Craig Gower. Again, this is Smith. Head down, backside up as he challenges the line and is denied. Oh, that is a shocking ball from Simon Wolford.
Still 4.
Still tackle 4, but they have lost the best part of 24 metres in that exchange.
Wolfen thought the ball was going to go in behind, and I've come up with a bad read there. Now Smith goes to the line.
Over the top he goes, out on the full. Nothing is working for Canberra tonight. We knew they were going to miss Clinton Schifosky, who has scored just under 50% of their total points so far this year.
Their problem over the last couple of weeks while Smith and Wolford have been out is they have been completing sets high in the percentages, but they've had nothing on the end of it to complete and score points. Now they've got those 2 players back. Now they've still got to complete them, which they haven't been doing because they have got the attacking players to put something on the end of those plays.
Disappointing night for Matthew Elliott. There is Terry Madison and David Furner sitting behind the head coach of the Canberra Raiders. Neither a mouth guard flew out there. It was a couple of teeth from David McLean. Now it's a mouth guard, thankfully. Just going to brush it off and throw it back in. Wasn't a case of the Anthony Tupous from City Country where he lost 3 of them in 1 foul hit. Back into Canberra territory. Gower happy to play the percentages, digs it down deep, trapped nicely by Marshall Chalk. Oh, Reece Wesser could be in trouble here. No running warning from Jason Robinson, not placed on report. Interested to have another look at this tackle.
I disagree.
Not high?
No. Look, I think he's jumped at him, but he certainly hasn't attacked him around the head whatsoever with that left hand.
No, sorry, it was not report, just a penalty. Not report.
Not placed on report. Reece Wesser as play restarts.
As I said, I don't think it even warranted a penalty.
Matt Adamson kicks for touch. He's got a big left boot, Matt Adamson, and gains the best part of 27 metres. And backs it up with the first hit up from the penalty and is driven backwards. Gower.
That's dominant, you can't work him back over. I called dominant, but you can't work him over on a dominant tackle. You can lay on. Back him all in, please, mate. Thank you.
He's a tough little nut, Craig Gower, isn't he? Tackling the big man head on.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Simon Wolford doesn't get onside here, this should be a scrum. Well, that's lucky Matt Adamson decided to take an extra couple of yards over the spot where he's supposed to kick from.
Another good metre maker from the big second rower. Former Australian representative throughout 1997, Withers. Some good ball movement here from the Canberra Raiders, just offering a little bit of variation in attack. Withers again, inside ball to Hindmarsh. Tyron Smith is there, unable to pop the ball free was the second rower. A rare scoring opportunity. Here's Adamson. Thrown to the ground. David McLean. Tyron Smith. It is 18 points to 0. Final 8.5 minutes of the opening half. They desperately need points, the Raiders, and they will get them through Alan Tongue. 18 points to 4, kick to come. It's been a quiet night on the hill for the Green Machine fans.
It has, and they really haven't had a lot of ball. Only had 38% of the ball out to Jason Smith down that right-hand side. What about the pass from Jason Smith? The way that he put the fend out with the left hand and then offloaded back inside the tongue. Just watch that one-handed. He knew he was coming down the middle of the ruck. They've stuck to their gun, Scott Sattler, with the Canberra Raiders always targeting around that ruck area.
Well, they've started to get a little bit more possession, haven't they, over the last 5 or 10 minutes? Like we said, it will come around and the possession will start evening up. Players like Jason Smith command so much respect from defence that he draws defenders. You can't defend a pass like that. On the inside, the defender thinks he's covering the inside. Least unexpected a pass like that, but you just can't defend brilliance. And Jason Smith is that sort of player. Doesn't matter what age he is that he brings to this side.
Matt Gaffer at 73% for his career. A left foot kicker, so he's on the good side or the favoured side. About 8 metres off centre and just 14 metres back. Over it goes. And it is 18 points to 6. Matt Elliott now able to stomach that ham, cheese, tomato sandwich just a little bit better. His side is on the scoreboard. And Wizard could be a whole lot worse considering just how dominant the Panthers have been, how much football they've had, and the fact it's 4 tries to 1.
And if this man here is kicking off, could have kicked a couple of goals. Oh, I wonder if they're going to save this. Lincoln with us, well done. And now the Panthers come rushing in to make the tackle. Tremendous effort from the little 7 to get there as one of the players slipped over, Chris Kaler.
Oh, the Raiders have absolutely handed over possession in the worst possible way. Crossman. What on earth happened there?
Stand with the ball.
Just the opening tackle. Rogers. Oh, it is a case of Butterfingers out there at the moment. First the Raiders, then the Panthers guilty.
I just think the Panthers really are just trying a little bit too hard now. They know they've got that buffer of 12 points. Then they needed just to control things a little bit better. And they just didn't do it. Promoting the ball a little bit too much.
Luke Prittis holding the back of his head after copping a hip, I think it was, in that exchange. Smith again going the short side with Adam Mogg, who beats his man. Gets around Gower. Open space here. Raiders turning at centre field. They got past Wesser. Only some desperation from David McLean. And a knock on.
Went forward in the
ruck. Oh, another perfect opportunity wasted by the visitors.
Excitement there from young Howe, trying to get up as quick as he could to get the play the ball, because they were very short on the left-hand side of Canberra's left-hand side out here. Jason Smith could see it straight away, but unfortunately, if you be patient, sometimes the results come a lot quicker.
And just Jason Smith and Mogg down that short-hand side. He knew that Howell was going to come back in, lifted the right arm free, and then he showed tremendous pace. Then to get up and play the ball just a little bit too quickly and gave away the ball.
Luke Rooney was headed towards the try line. Ian Hindmarsh did extremely well to get the wing free quarter. This is Frankie Pulatua. Brother Tony out with a pectoral muscle injury for the season. A massive blow to the Panthers' premiership aspirations. Slow to get to his feet was David McLean. This is Rogers. Unable to get the ball away. Good tackle by Chris Kaler. Here's Prittis. Cut out ball. Goes wrong. Phil Graham with Wesser in front of him. Puts it on the boot. That is a great Canberra try. An intercept. First tackle. Chances his arm and it came up all smiles.
Well, if Graham doesn't take the pass, the Panthers going to the short side. There it is. They were going to go the other length of the field to score that. What about this? The kick over the top, the chase, and Reece Wesser did the right thing. He told the man inside, just watch him. I'm going to get him on the outside. Then he sizes up the situation. Phil Graham, tremendous effort there. Great vision to get over there and score a try for the Raiders.
You never get sick of watching play like that, do you? It doesn't matter who it is. Great presence of mind for Phil Graham, and the confidence also to be first tackle, well, zero tackle really, to put it in field and flirt with that the dead ball line. Great play by the Raiders. What they have done is what you touched on before, Wiz. They've hung in there, and now they get the results. The completion rates and also the possession is starting to even up now, like we said.
It shows the confidence in your ability, doesn't it? Opening tackle. Matt Gaffer with the opportunity, perhaps sooner than he would have thought, to post his second conversion for the night. 1 from 1 so far. And as we close in on half-time, it could well be just a converted try the difference here at the Penrith Stadium. 18 points to 0 in the opening minutes. The Raiders are fighting back. That's the angle. Struck it just outside the left hand upright. The scoreline remains Penrith 18, Canberra 10, just on 2.5 minutes remaining.
As we see the intercept here again by Phil Graham. Great hands in dewy conditions also. But like I said, to be able to put this ball and back himself with 2 defenders in cover, great play by the young Phil Graham.
A lot more care taken with this kick-off, and Adamson winds up the legs, goes through the opening line, beats Shane Rodney. This is Ian Hindmarsh, and a lot better metres for the Canberra Raiders. 42 of them in 2 tackles. Wolford had Tyron Smith and Alan Tongue on his left-hand side, decided to go right. Withers, Smith, second man ball to the fullback, Chaw. Tackle number 4. 32 metres out. This is Tyron Smith in 17. Good ball to Wolford. Had support on his right. Look left. Smith with the football. Up it goes. Howland is there. Driven to the ground but tackled mid-air. And not even Simon Wolford could find an argument for that case.
I don't think it was a right play there from Jason Smith. They had the Panthers on the back foot. They put it across it. Like we talked about Matt Gafford, not a genuine winger. They should have played it through their hands, and I think they would have come up with the right result, especially with a minute to go before half-time.
And Kayla was the man there that got penalised, tackling a man in the air. The only way you can do that if you're the actual defender and the attackers are kicking the ball through.
Frankie Pulatua driven into the ground by Chris Kayla. Lincoln Withers there with the assist, and this is Garrett Crossman. Tackled right on the 40. Final seconds of the opening half in a game that looked like it was going to be all the home side. It is just an 8-point gap at the moment. Craig Gower is on the left-hand side. That is the way they go. Rodney in 16 is tackled. Jason Smith again perhaps searching a little high. The ball dropped, and we will not have time to form a scrum. I think both packs of forwards will be pretty eager to get back into the dressing room, have a break and reassess and plan for their final 40 minutes. Siren sounds at half-time here at Penrith. It is the Panthers 18, the Raiders 10. Jason Robinson is ready. Our 2 teams are ready. Second half is underway in this round 9 clash at Penrith Stadium. The Panthers lead 18 points to 10. And both aspects of their game have been vastly improved in the opening 40 minutes in comparison to their season averages. 16 is Shane Rodney. Frank Pulatua running into a guy that could very well be his twin brother in Tyron Smith. Garrett Crossman. No airs and graces there. There's not a lot pretty about Garrett. He certainly gets the job done, the young front rower. Gower inside the 40. And an opportunity for David Howell to run back into the defensive line with a little bit of open space in front of him. But he is going nowhere and fast. Good chase by Crossman and Pulatua.
Yeah, it's good work there by the Panthers to get themselves out of that trouble zone. But the Canberra Raiders, I think you'll find in this half, they'll start to try and promote the ball a little bit early, a little bit wider. Oh, good tackle by Gower. Uplifted Hindmarsh.
That's 2 in 1 game. Adamson spills the ball, but backwards into the hands of Adam Mogg, who looks for a miracle ball. They continue to throw it around at will. One halfback has tackled Lincoln Withers, but there is drama on the near side. The Penrith halfback, Craig Gower, still getting to his feet, still receiving some attention, and it appears to be carrying a right shoulder problem. Smith, Wesser back deep, but well positioned for the grubber over the top. He is tackled 36 metres out from his line.
They've got to be careful, the Canberra Raiders, of putting those kicks over. If the communication between the players isn't spot on, a staggered line is going to let Reece Wesser go straight through one of those big holes.
Here's Waterhouse, one of the try scorers. Just into Canberra territory. The 16 is Shane Rodney. Craig Gower is still in back play. In fact, he has just made his way up into the line for his first touch. McLean in 18. Normally a long-serving Premier League lock forward has got his chance due to injury tonight in the top grade. Gower puts it into the air. A big kick. Pressure onto the back for Penrith, but well taken by Marshall Chalk. And I guess, Wiz, you need more than just a minor shoulder complaint to get Craig Gower from the field.
How tough is he? He was injured over here making that big tackle on Matt Adamson. He shook off the cobwebs and said, get me back out there. I want to get myself involved in the game and help my team continue on its winning way.
A former wild child of Penrith, Craig Gower, has matured into a great footballer as Alan Tongue absolutely gaps the defence, puts the footwork on Reece Wesser. His support overran him. This is Wolford. Withers changes the direction of the Canberra attack, perhaps not the correct option in crossing back over from left to right on the field. Jason Smith. Wolford with kicking duties. Not played at. Last tackle. It is thrown backwards. Kayla has the football. He grubbers ahead. Pressure at the back for Wesser, who was taken to the ground by Matt Gaffer. So a little bit of confusion, not a lot of communication. And Reece Wesser safely taking the footy.
He did a good job then, Chris Carley. He had no options, put the ball on the foot. And the next best thing other than a try, getting the team coming out from their try line, because their try line seems so far down the other end of the field.
Penrith missed 45 tackles last week against the Warriors, only 8 at half-time tonight. So an improved defensive performance. What a spectacular looking tackle. Nothing sinister in it, even though the crowd groaned. And Marshall Chalk fields the ball back about 5 metres out from his own line, and a good gain from the stand-in fullback.
This is where I reckon you'll start to see the Canberra Raiders use the ball just a fraction wider, maybe one more up the middle of the ruck, and then start to promote it to the edge. Oh, what about the defence of the Panthers?
Tonight, Foxtel and Ozstar digital viewers can enjoy this game, Fox Sports Active. Just press the red button on your remote control to enjoy a range of camera angles, audio options, highlights and live stats. The stats are all in favour of the Panthers. Again, good defence. Very slow to get to his feet, Simon Wolford. Pressure applied to Jason Smith. A hurried kick in. Bounces awkward for Penrith. They still take the football and take it through Ben Pomeroy.
And that's what the Panthers have got to keep doing. Make sure that they put plenty of pressure on Jason Smith, but not one at a time. 2 of them have got to go, because he's liable then to pass the ball or run himself.
Lock in square to stand with the ball.
Simon Wolford and Jason Smith, returning from suspension tonight, have added some direction and structure to the Canberra attacking unit when they have been in possession of the football.
Go.
Smith in that tackle with Chris Kayla, and the number 6 backing up again.
Fourth movement.
Near side they come through Gower. Waterhouse on his inside. Smith is there. He pops it out the back to Reece Wesser. Holding on for the ride was Ian Hindmarsh. 2 tackles, both marked down. Pritis goes solo. And a nervous moment at the back for Marshall Chalk. Most definitely knocked backwards. And Luke Pritis and Craig Gower effect the tackle inside the 10 metres. This is Matt Gaffer, the goal kicker for the Canberra Raiders. Marshall Chalk hasn't been able to play that expansive game he is so good at. 134 metres last week against the Knights. Adam Mogga's tackled on the 30, 10 in from touch. Smith, a little flick ball back to the centre. 2 former Parramatta players combining there. David Howell, a former Dragon, gets it on to Smith, to Withers. He goes downtown, and a badly directed kick. It goes straight to Reece Wesser, and you are not going to win football games by kicking the football directly to that number 1.
Well, the big issue about then was that Lincoln Withers had to put a rush kick in. They went 2 passes wide. The Panthers weren't moving up, so he decided to kick the ball just a fraction early.
Howland in 21.
Stand with the ball.
Here's Luke Rooney, who has had limited opportunities so far tonight. Interchange number 5 being prepared by Matthew Elliott at the moment. As the Panthers come towards this near side, Michael Robinson is ready to make his way into the contest. Just 7 minutes into the second half. Gower puts it over the top. Chalk at the back takes this one with ease. Finds his man there. He goes back to the fullback. They are testing themselves and showing plenty of confidence as Simon Wolford comes from the field. Robertson into action.
It's very obvious that John Lane's got his team in the dressing sheds. He's told them to get back to what they did in the first half. Complete your sets, get your kicks, and just continue to put pressure on the Raiders.
Okay, a little change in how they're going to play the game. Lincoln Withers will move from the 7 to the 9, Gary. He moves into dummy half there.
What I think they're looking to do is try and get the ball out of dummy half and make some scoots around the bigger man of the Panthers forwards. That's why Lincoln Withers will be going into the dummy half role. All good.
Down to Wesser, a kick with not a great deal of depth on it. Wesser fielded on the 20-metre line, has tackled just over the 30 and driven back. 18 points to 10, just over half an hour remaining. Gower, long ball to Pritis at first receiver. Rogers in 19. Into the side of the expense of Preston Campbell, who was knocked out last night. This is David McLean. Nothing spectacular about that young man. Just a workaholic.
It just looks like both sides. It's like the start of the game again, Scott, because they're really just testing each other. One down the rack, then the kick and chase. Just waiting for someone to make that one mistake. Good offload here.
And a good shot put on there by Tyron Smith. Waterhouse plays the football to Gower. Good ball, Pomeroy. On his outside, Howland. Desperation from the Raiders. And we are going to the video ref.
Can you check that Raiders didn't ground the ball before the Panthers did in the goal, please?
Desperation in both attack and defence.
And it was Craig Gower that started the movement around about on the 20-metre mark, going down the short-hand side, got the ball into Howland, and does the ball stay in play? And is it grounded? Well, we won't be able to see it, that shot there. Michael Robinson is the man just getting his hand to the ball, and he lets it go there as he's still got control. I think that'd be a goal line dropout. Goal line dropout, Scott, what do you think?
I didn't think the ball was actually in the in goal. I think the ball was between his legs still in this. We'll be able to tell from this angle here. Great work from Robinson to get in between the two attackers. Still a knock back there. Still in the field of play.
No, it's in the field. It's in the in goal.
It's in the in goal now.
Please. You're wishing it to stand out.
Definitely a goal line dropout.
What the referee has said to the video referee is to look to see whether Robinson had control and did he ground it before the Penrith player had grounded the ball himself. And we both agree to be a dropout.
Benefit of the doubt goes to the attacking side.
Oh, I can't see how you can say that. You can't tell me he's grounded the ball there.
Can you say the Penrith guy hasn't grounded the ball?
Yeah, I don't think he's grounded the ball at all.
Steve Nash, it is his decision, and a difficult one at that. We are obscured by every angle we look at in a mash of bodies in the far corner. Jason Robinson waiting almost impatiently. Not quite as impatiently as those men. If body language is any indication, the Panthers are preparing for a goal line dropout. So too the Raiders. Steve Nash, no try, goal line dropout. And with just over half an hour remaining, we remain 18 points to 10 in favour of the home side.
Grounded in the in goal. Always say it that way.
They should have come to us earlier, Scott.
They have to keep the defensive unit intact for another set of 6. It goes to Gower, who finds Pulatua. Good low shot put on by Chris Kaler. Lincoln Withers over the top. Jason Croker and Tyron Smith with the assist. A 4-man Canberra tackle. Crossman, poor ball security. He drops it on just the first tackle. Centre field about 23 metres out from the line. Now it is up to the Panthers to muscle up defensively to keep the visitors down here.
And this is the tackle count here. The Raiders 230 tackles. The Panthers 140. Unbelievable how they hang into the game so well. Very, very fit. And Adamson once again taking on Craig Gower, ex-teammate.
Croker had a man on the inside in the form of Marshall Chalk, took the ball to ground just short of halfway. Only an 8-point game as we go to Jason Smith. Pops the ball up and somehow ends up in the hands of Shane Rodney. Unmistakable in the headgear.
Just had to give themselves a little bit of depth down the side here as Gower takes, Fronzo I should say, takes the ball down the left-hand flank.
Oh, the Panthers claiming the ball was taken out. It wasn't. It is scrum Canberra as a double interchange is made. Let's have a look at it. Paul Fronze going to ground. Is there a hand there? You bet there was.
And this is where the video referee, I've been saying it all in 2005, should be able to come and say, you've got it wrong, let's get it right.
Jace, wait till I call them in.
And the penalty should be given.
Both of you stand up.
The funny thing about it,
you know how to pack both arms up. You worry about your arms. Bend it.
the funny thing about it, no player actually plays to rip a ball out now, and the referee should know that. You know, it's just part of the game where it's not played at. They don't want to flirt with danger.
Again, poor ball security and the big men collide centre field. Joel Clinton and Luke Prittis putting a lot of pressure on big Benny Cross. Words exchanged. This could be an interesting scrum.
I think he had a little of a Bo Peep there. Players are flying up out of the line to put pressure on Cross.
Head in, Jace. Luke, get your arms over. Now bend it. Out.
No sorting out, no get squares as Reece Wesser looks to break the advantage line. All the props reasonably well behaved that scrum. Ben Ross and Joel Clinton have been thrown back into action by John Lang. Back to his starting side as it is. Waterhouse, Gower, Rogers, inside man is Rodney. Ben Rogers lying on his back, put his hands up, took the ball, ran, and then spilt it. No surprise to see Gower and Adamson again at each other. This is the veteran Croker. And surely, Scott, the Raiders have got to be looking just to complete their sets and play a percentage game.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Andy. They're both teams are letting off the pressure valve both times, and always in the same area of the field here. The next team that completes the next two sets of 6 and scores, I think will probably take hold of this game as Kayla makes a good run through the ruck there.
Yep, into Penrith territory. This is Withers. Inside man is Chalk. Good and easier metres for the visitors. Jason Smith. Ball out in front, running to the line, putting an element of doubt in the defence. And we are 18 metres out. Last tackle, a good gain of 56 metres. Croker. Grubbers and straight to the hands of Reece Wesser, who has absolutely opened them up. Only some desperation by his opposing number, Marshall Chalk. That is a try save because Reece was on his way downfield.
Oh, he certainly was. In desperation by Marshall Chalk to make that tackle. Otherwise, see you later. He was going to run 90 metres of penalty given. And that was the man, Ben Cross, who dropped the ball before, trying to make up for it. Trying to muscle up in defence, but gives away a silly penalty. Should have let go. Luke Rooney takes a little bit of a stumble at the back there. At least you're supposed to take a dive the proper way, aren't you?
7 penalties to 4. That sat's starting to mount against the Raiders.
Yeah, and again, we talked about possession, and if they're going to get into the old habits of what they got in the first half, well, they're going to bring themselves undone.
Benny Ross, the Queenslander, looking to again wear that maroon jersey. Chris Kayla is well and truly, in fact, about 4 metres in front of the referee. He effected that tackle. And the Panthers fans are screaming for a penalty. This is Waterhouse. Good, strong, soft centre field from Cross. Prittis. Tackle number 3. They go to their captain, Gower. On to Rogers, who has been good tonight.
10 metres.
Paul Fronze is tackled. 10 metres out. David McLean moves into acting half. Again, they will go to Gower. Comes off the left foot a couple of times. Back to Rogers, who is tackled on the last. Prittis looks for his number 7, who is on the open side. Wesser on the blind. Prittis goes himself. Croker, it came off the chest, went to ground. And poor communication there and poor execution.
What the Panthers need to do then, they need to isolate Chris Kaler. He didn't know where he was. He's just left the field now, but he was standing in front of the referee, and I'm sure he was knocked out. Now the Raiders look to go wide.
Jason Smith tossing the ball back to Michael Robertson. Just 15 metres have been made. Smith again. Inside ball. Marshall chalk in open space. Here comes Robinson on his inside. He goes to his outside through Mogg. Panthers are everywhere. Mogg continues down as tackle. They have butchered a try, the Raiders. Smith goes himself, had 3 men on his outside, couldn't get the ball away. It is penalty Canberra regardless.
No, one of them came back. It's just a 10, wait. It's just a 10 metres straight. There's no argument there.
But I didn't go off the line.
You know,
Mate, I was
not only you, you're out of the way, Craig.
That angelic little face.
Penalty.
Oh,
I know.
dear. Okay, Troy Thompson starts this attacking set for the Raiders. They trail by 8. The Panthers very much on the back foot. Alan Tongue already with a try tonight. 3 metres out, Withers. 2 is Gaffer. The Croker back to Gaffer. Inside ball. They are playing an expansive brand of football, and a good shot put on Phil Graham to end that. Still an opportunity to the left through Croker. Quick hands. Raiders are in. Michael Robertson is the try scorer. The gap now is back to just 4.
And that all comes back on the bust by the fullback in the ball plane of Jason Smith going to the line, picking up Marshall Chalk down the middle of the ruck. Really, there was 3 players there, Raider players there, that the ball should have gone to on the left-hand side. They gave it to Mogg. They were very lucky, the Raiders. After this play, the ball here, there was a penalty given for offside. And then Croker darts out of dummy half, just gets rid of Reynolds. What about the pass there? And once again, Matt Gaffer, little flick pass, knew his winger was at home, and they score a valuable try there, the Raiders.
Yeah, it's the experienced players that are putting this Canberra team back in the game. As you said, first it was Smith up this end, up the far end of the field, and Jason Croker having good vision down his left-hand side to see that the Panthers were short, and just his strength to be able to hold off Benny Rogers and get that ball away to Robinson. It's like we touched on earlier, the team that was going to get back into this and control the next 2 sets are going to really grab this game by the throat, and the Raiders have done that.
Try number 14 for Michael Robertson in his 51st top-grade appearance. Matty Gaffer kicking at 50% so far tonight, and it will not get any harder for the left footer. Almost 20 metres back. About half a metre in from touch, maybe a metre. And a very vocal crowd on the far side of Penrith Stadium. It starts to the left and stays to the left. And as we fast approach the hour mark, it is just a 4-point game. Penrith led this 18-0, 14 unanswered points from the visitors.
They did, they had all the ball too, but now that the Canberra Raiders from half-time, that's probably one of the few times that Matthew Elliott looks on and gives the instructions to go a little bit wider. Try and spread the ball as much as possible to catch out the Panthers on the right or left-hand flanks as much as possible.
Joel Clinton preparing to rip back into action. Wesser, the left foot goes downfield. Knocked back. The crowd don't agree with it, but it is the correct ruling from Jason Robinson. They don't like it here at Penrith, they tell you, Wiz.
Oh, they certainly do, but he did the right thing, Jason Robinson. It was knocked back. That was not a problem. Good decision by the referee. 4
changes or interchanges each remaining for both John Lang and Matthew Elliott, so no advantage there. Oh, flirting with the sideline was Jason Smith and David Howe for no real game. It was marked defensively by Luke Rooney. Adamson again after an effort of some 174 metres last week against the Knight. Again, Matt Adamson has been good. Gaffer puts it downfield into the hands of Howland. He spent 10 minutes in the sin bin earlier in the contest. Has also scored a try. Good 4-man tackle there on Ben Pomeroy. Up over the 30-metre line. As Gary said earlier, if Canberra hang in there and they have the percentages as far as controlling the football, will eventually come full circle. It's 55%, 45% at the moment. They are back in the game in that respect. Clinton tackled right on halfway. It is the final tackle. A gain of 34 metres. No real pressure put on Craig Gower, which allows him to get a nice, long, deep kick, perfectly weighted. Marshall Chalk really forced to work for his paycheck there.
And that's been the difference in the game so far. We're just under 20 minutes to go in the game. The possession there going the Raiders' way now, 52% to the Panthers 48%, but it's the kicking game of Craig Gower, getting in between winger and fullback.
Yep, the Raiders have dominated second half possession by the barest of margins, but it is an advantage they needed. Smith pops it back to Ben Ross, and the big front rower ploughing his way to the line. Desperation shown by the Green Machine. A very slow play, the ball. Ross wants to wrestle. It goes from Prentice to Gower. Second man ball to Waterhouse. Centre field. Opportunities to the right. That's the way they go through Gower. Poor ball from the captain. It went in front of Reece Wesser. And Ben Rogers was forced to turn and fetch. Tackle free. Wesser going himself. If Canberra can keep the Panthers out here, they've done extremely well. Very much on the back foot. Rogers, Gower, tackle 4. Long ball. They have numbers, and that is a great try-saving tackle. David Howe has come up with the tackle of the night.
Well, he had to come in off his wing, didn't he? If he didn't, there was a try on there for the Panthers down this left-hand flank. The pass from Gower just lobbing over the top, gave Howland enough time to come in and make the tackle. A try saver there for the Raiders.
Tongue has had an impact since coming on, Alan Tongue. Edging up towards halfway. Again, it is Alan Tongue in jersey number 14, slipping it back.
Oh, it's back to
Play
one.
on, in fact, 6 to go. Advantage Raiders. Withers. Marshall Chalk will have a nightmare about that ball.
He wasn't ready for it then. He was on his haunches after the play the ball when Lincoln Withers took off. And it's those little mistakes that are going to get Penrith back into the game, because they've just started to get on top. They defended well up this end, up their end of the field. Mistakes like that have got to be cut out if they're going to continue to control this game.
Sometimes in that situation, you just need the player who's taking the ball forward. Just take the tackle.
It's just all constant pressure, isn't it? Constant pressure.
Rogers almost through. Good tackle from Tongue. Heading back centre field, and the Penrith big men are weary. Fred Waterhouse, Joel Clinton and Ben Ross now making their way back into the line. This is the number 12, Frank Pritchard. Represented New Zealand at Suncorp Stadium just a couple of weeks ago against that man, Luke Prentice. This is Gower. Short ball there to Luke Swain in 17. Started tonight in the place of Nullavow. Gower juggles the ball. Ben Ross and Chris Kaler having a few words in the background. Last tackle. They will go to Wesser on this last play. And the kick far too big. Reece, I think it's fair to say Sats has got to learn to keep the ball in his hands. Not allowed below the knees.
If it's not off the tee, it's off the hands. It's not working out for him tonight in the sense of the boot. But I know we keep harping on the same story. But the Canberra Raiders are holding on very well here.
They can only afford, though, to give the Panthers so many opportunities, they will make them pay. Withers.
Well, that's been a bit of a problem for them, is the amount of errors that they are making. Both sides have been guilty of dropping the ball when they don't need to. We need to make sure get a good kick away in the set here, the Canberra Raiders.
I'll do it, John.
And just as we talk about another mistake, Ben Cross not happy with the decision.
Yep. Step back, John.
A little bit of help from Trent Waterhouse
Back to
there
the line,
for
please.
referee Jason Robinson.
He's marching forward. Arms over. Let's go. Let's get it in. Stay behind it, Jason. Out.
Gower in the hands of Wesser. His opposing number again there.
Move! Lock in on! Hold!
Short side they operate. Swain.
Movement! Hold!
Up in the front line. Chalker's defending. Here's Ross again.
3, off the ball!
The Raiders with Simon Wolford, Tyron Smith and Matt Adamson, as well as Ian Hindmarsh on the sideline. Maybe they just need a little bit of experience back on the field as Frank Pritchard is on the back of a good pass, a half break. Gower. Inside was Rogers. He finds Prittis, who crabs across field to pick up Swain. They are 4 metres out. Numbers to the right. They go to the left through Gower. Oh, the intercept was on for David Howe. He dropped the football on what was the final tackle, and the Raiders will have to defend another set of 6.
I know he went for it. He tried to get the ball on the down spiral there. Rooney was outside of the man they're defending in. I think he would have been better off actually just coming up and making the tackle. They were bound to get the ball back. Now another set of 6. I guarantee here that the Panthers, they will score a 4-pointer.
Gower looking to get past Croker. He can't. The veteran effecting a good front-on tackle. Prittis. Rogers. Short ball to Pomeroy, who was tackled by his opposing number. Also in there is Gaffer. Short side they go. And penalty.
I told you before, 10 metres on the goal line. Stand up, Matt Gaffer, and out of the way.
Happy to play on. Here's Ross.
They need to keep bringing the ball to this left-hand flank. There's only about 4 players defending it for the Raiders.
Gower. Short ball to Clinton, who drops the ball. Knocked on. It is a scrum feed to the Raiders. It's probably no surprise Big Joel knocked it on so close to the line. This is Clinton's 78th first-grade game. He has yet to score one, Gary Freeman. That's a couple of seasons' worth of nude runs.
The funny thing about it is Ben Ross and Joel Clinton for the last 3 seasons have had a wager every year. So Benny's beat him 2 years in a row. So he's still on the drought.
Both Ross and Clinton triallers so far this year.
Yeah, it still doesn't make up for the fact that they've come up with a mistake where their team really needs them to score another try to get themselves away from the Canberra side, with the scoreline now at 18 points to Penrith and the Canberra 14.
Some confusion on the sideline there. An interchange was made. Jason Smith actually came from the field. He's now back on the right-hand side as the Raiders go left.
That's 4.
The Raiders basically put 1 player on, 2 came off, and that man, Ben Cross, has stayed off. Croker coming back centre field. Couldn't get the arms free. Tackle number 5. They need to go downtown. Smith with the short kick. On the inside is Gaffer, who regathers a long ball to Lincoln Withers. Still the last. Drops it out the back. That was the best option. And here from the clouds come the Raiders. They are claiming a try. It's been awarded, and we are locked up at 18. Oh, what a rugby league try.
And that goes back to Jason Smith once again, injecting himself into the game when it was needed. The little chip over the top. They've been doing this all night. Yes, he's onside. There's not a problem with that. The ball back over to Lincoln Withers. He struggles to get rid of it. He's looking for someone to back up. Then the kick is put through by Matt Gaffer. And Marshall Chalk, very, very quick, gets there and following the ball through and scores a try for the Raiders.
It's a great play there from Matt Gaffer, and also Marshall Chalk, who's had a very good game tonight. Matt Gaffer knew it was the 5th and last to put it on the toe. even if they didn't come up with possession, they'd still be getting Penrith to bring it out their end of the field.
Oh, when you're in trouble, holler for a marshal. He did it so well. Oh, what a night for Johnny Lang. He reaches for the walkie-talkie. I would hate to be on the other end of it. A 20-point turnaround. Gaffer just 1 from 3 tonight. Should have no issues with this whatsoever and doesn't. It hasn't been a good night for the goal kickers. It is 4 tries all. The Panthers fans aren't wrapped with this decision from Jason Robinson. But on the scoreboard, they are behind by 2.
I thought young Jason Robinson may go to look for an onside play while the man scoring the try. He did it. He was happy with it. He was in position to make that decision himself. Now Mike takes it back just over the 20. Oh, good tackle once again.
Yep, very good tackle there from the number 4, Franze. Oh, they're muscling up Penrith. We are in for a cracking final 8.5 minutes. Smith and Rooney. And the youngster gets the veteran down. Happy to milk the time. Number 2, Gaffer, playing second receiver for most of this contest with Simon Woolford off the field. Woolford is now back on in 9. Smith downtown on the end of a shoulder from Ben Ross, who has words with the 5'8". No penalty coming, so Jason Smith gets to his feet, albeit gingerly.
And this is where the Panthers need their little men to jump in the dummy half, scoot out of the dummy half area, make some good yardage, and then use the ball out wide. But now, Canberra, they're starting to muscle up. Woolford in there to make the tackle.
18 points to 0 in favour of Penrith, and a good shot put on by the Raiders. As it stands, this is the 8th biggest comeback in NRL history in just so many years. So quite a feat from the Raiders, not secure yet, as Gower hands it off to Pritchard.
I think Penrith have got to realise they don't have to score in the next 2 or 3 minutes. They've still got just under 8 minutes. They'll probably get about 4 sets. They've just got to remain patient.
Gower, who drops the football just short of halfway. That is an uncharacteristic mistake from a very solid performer.
Was that me that put the knocker on him? Or?
Correct.
I think the big thing is they are panicking both sides, and quality players like Craig Gower are making those mistakes now where they need to settle things down. Just 1 set of 6 to get it away, get a kick in, which both sides certainly haven't done.
It is time to play percentages for the Raiders. For the first time, they lead, albeit by 2 points. Need to take the footy to the line. Ball security is paramount, and get a good kick away at the end of it. Play the game down this end of the park.
I still can't get over how the Raiders have managed to hang into it when they've made something like 300 tackles.
Oh! And it is time off. Ben Rogers will get a talking to.
Ben. You've hit him high. It's going on report.
Ben Rogers placed on report. This is why. Coming in one side is the number 19.
Well, they've been using their play all night. The Canberra Raiders turning the ball back inside. Ben Rogers covering from the marker position, just going a fraction high. Interesting to see what happens with that grading.
Crucial set of 6 for Canberra. This is Thompson at the line. Just 7 metres from points. Wolford. Croker! He scores! Or does he?
Put it on his arm, mate. It's tackle 2. It's tackle 2. You put it down on top of it.
Have a look, mate.
A decision.
Please have a look. No, why? Please.
At the moment, you've got to play the ball.
Please.
I can change it the other way. It's tackle 2.
Begging, mate. That's a try.
Jason Robinson very clear in his instructions there, and he was under some pressure, Wiz.
He certainly was. Little number 9, Wolford, just saying, have a look at it, sir, have a look at it. He made his decision already. Good refereeing.
And a good tackle from Waterhouse on his opposing number. Across field they go. Oh, how crucial could that call have been? What a tackle too. Wolford Withers. Kayla, good hand shown by the second rower. Back, it ends up with Matt Gaffer. On to Matt Adamson. Hands free, opportunity, Howe, who scores? What an amazing comeback. The Canberra Raiders are going to win this after trailing 18 points to 0.
And it's the experience of Smith, of course. Adamson out on this right-hand flank, just making sure the ball goes 2 passes wide. And that's the save. And then they go 2 passes wide. Withers, nice long ball once again. Kayla slips over. Players come around backing up, which is beautiful play. But watch Adamson here. Holds the player out with his left hand. Look at this. Then offloads the ball. Howland comes straight to the middle. Reece Wesser, that's a tackle there. That should have been made.
Have to give a good rap to Chris Kayla, Andy, like you touched on earlier. It's good to keep the ball alive after taking such a difficult ball, but great work from Howe to not only be lazy and stick on his win and expect the ball to come to him. He put himself in a position into the play to make the try available. Great work.
Certainly was a good team try from the Raiders, and what a 24 hours it has been for Craig Gower, batting at 1-1. Victorious in the rep game last night. It doesn't appear that way here tonight in Panthers colours. 24-18. Matt Gaffer slowly moving into it. Adds the extras. The gap is now extended beyond a converted try. What a game of footy. What a performance by this guy, Chris Kayla, Wiz. Last week, at just 22 years of age, muscled up to Craig Smith, one of your fellow New Zealanders, a renowned tough guy. He's got plenty going for him, this young bloke.
Well, around about 10 minutes ago, he'd actually been hit very, very hard in the tackle. He got himself on the defensive line as much as possible. I'll tell you what, he's a tough little character. That's what I like about him.
The short kick-off tried. Simon Wolford, the veteran, very aware of what the Panthers were going to try and achieve there.
They don't want to try and slow it down too much here, Canberra. You can hear the referee said, you know, don't slow it up too much, play on, otherwise you will be penalised.
Wolford, here's the man we were just talking about, Kayla, in jersey 12. Started tonight from the bench with Ian Hindmarsh promoted into the starting side. Tyron Smith is on the end of a good ball from his captain, Simon Wolford.
Trent.
It'll penalty Canberra.
You've raked it out like that. Wait.
It is going to be a long 3 minutes for that man, John Lane, and his 17 Penrith Panthers tonight.
What are you doing, son? Going for goal, guys.
The Canberra Raiders have elected to go for goal. And a time-wasting exercise at its very best, Wiz.
It certainly will be. With just under 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
Where you were.
Just trying to grab a couple of extra metres there. The referee was right onto it and told him to go back.
And the result now, it would seem beyond doubt. The difference is 8 points, 26-18 after an early 18-0 lead. And the fans are already making their way to the exit, or perhaps making their way over to the club, over to Panthers for a quiet one to talk about exactly what went wrong.
Well, I think what went wrong was starting with Reece Wesser as the kicker. Missing 4 kicks. That's really certainly come back to hurt them.
Taking plenty of time is Matty Gaffer. Big left foot, 41 metres out. Had the distance, didn't have the direction. Reece Wesser, with just 90 seconds left, takes the ball back into the defensive line. It has been quite a victory by the Raiders. It'd be easy to talk about the negatives from a Penrith perspective, Wiz, but after a game like this, it's more fun talking positives and just showing how courageous and committed this Raiders side is.
Well, you've got to look at it by this. I keep going back to this tackle count because they could have easily given up in the first half where they made something like 90 more tackles than they have as Gower makes a break down the middle with... I just believe they're believing in themselves and they're just trusting each other. Oh. Waterhouse doesn't want to be doing that.
Number 17 is Luke Swain, making good metres with Jason Croker holding on for the ride. This is the captain, Gower. Pritis and Wessel were both in front. The kick goes across the other side of the field. At the 30th minute, it was 18 points to nil. It is 26 unanswered points from the Raiders. Monstrous comeback. Considering the fact they are the co-equal leaders in the competition, points for and against is crucial. They're 5th in that respect. However, their 5 wins so far this year have been against the 4 sides at the bottom of the premiership ladder as it sits. Luke Rooney takes the football. His opposing number, David Howell, takes him to the ground as the siren goes. And at full time, what an impressive victory. The Raiders 26, the Panthers 18.